Let me share a story with you about John, a 68-year-old widower from Seattle. After losing his wife of 40 years, John believed joy was behind him. His friends encouraged him to try dating again, reminding him that he was still young at heart. That's when he met Linda, a vibrant 52-year-old divorcee from Bellevue. Their first few dates were magical. Coffee at Pike Place, long walks along Puget Sound, laughter that felt like a second chance at life. But soon, the differences between them began to show. Linda craved excitement, weekend getaways, late-night dinners, a life on the go. John longed for peace, quiet evenings at home, maybe a good book by the fire. What started as a hopeful connection slowly turned into tension. Small disagreements grew heavier. In the end, John chose to walk away, saying, "I thought I needed love, but what I really needed was peace." Stories like John's aren't rare. Older men, typically 65 and up, often find themselves dating women in their 40s or 50s, hoping for renewed joy and connection in their later years. It seems promising: shared experiences, companionship, maybe even romance. But too often, what begins with hope ends in disappointment. Why do these relationships so often fall apart? Today, on Elderly Wisdom Insight, we're uncovering 7 hard truths behind why many of these relationships don't work out. These aren't just ideas, they're real lessons drawn from real lives, just like John's. Lessons that can help you protect your peace, your heart, and even your finances. Whether you're already dating, considering it, or content on your own, this is for you. Here's what we're going to explore. 1. Mismatched expectations. When life paths simply don't align. 2. Financial entanglements that cost more than money. Clashing energy levels that turn connection into fatigue. 4. Emotional baggage that silently drifts in. 5. Family interference that complicates even the best intentions. A loss of independence that feels like losing yourself. F7. And lastly, the unspoken weight of societal pressure, pushing many into relationships they never truly wanted. Stick with me until the end, especially for reason 7. It's one of the most overlooked truths and could completely shift how you see dating in your later years. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's dive deep into the real story of older men and middle-aged women dating. If you're ready to discover what really goes wrong, type Elderly Wisdom Insight in the comments below. This is your journey, and I'm here to guide you with wisdom earned the hard way. Let's get started. Reason 1. Mismatched expectations and life goals. When Robert, a 70-year-old retiree from Miami, started dating Susan, a 50-year-old marketing manager, he thought he'd found a partner to share his golden years. Robert, living comfortably in Coral Gables, wanted simple joys, morning walks on South Beach, evenings with a good movie. Maybe a fishing trip now and then. Susan, still climbing the career ladder in Fort Lauderdale, had different plans. She thrived on networking events, weekend getaways to the Keys, and ambitious goals for her next promotion. At first they tried to compromise. Robert joined Susan at a few loud cocktail parties. Susan went fishing once, hating every minute. But soon their differences became a wedge. Robert felt dragged into a life he didn't want. Susan felt held back. Their breakup wasn't dramatic, just a quiet agreement that their paths didn't align. This is the first truth. Older men and middle-aged women often enter relationships with mismatched expectations after 60. Many men like Robert seek calm, a slower pace after decades of work and family. They've earned their rest, craving routines that bring peace. Middle-aged women, especially in their 40s and 50s, are often in a different season. They may be hitting career peaks, raising teens, or chasing dreams deferred during earlier years. These aren't small differences when one partner wants stability and the other craves growth. Every date becomes a negotiation. Compromise sounds nice, but it can erode the very peace you're seeking in your later years. Take Ellen, 67, from my own circle in Portland, Oregon. She watched her brother, George, 69, date a 48-year-old lawyer. Claire George wanted to spend winters in a quiet cabin near Mount Hood. Claire pushed for trips to New York, chasing Broadway shows and client dinners. Their fights weren't about love, they were about life. George ended it, saying, "I can't be someone I'm not anymore." The emotional toll wasn't just heartbreak. It was exhaustion. The kind that lingers when you're sick of plus, and your energy isn't what it used to be. Here's the wisdom from sage advice. Before you date, ask, what does this person want from life? And does it match my vision? Sit down early over coffee, not candlelight, and talk about goals. Are they chasing ambition while you're seeking rest? Do they want adventure while you want routine? Be honest. If the gap's too wide, don't force it. Love shouldn't mean reshaping your life. And if you're unsure, consider this. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's freedom to live on your terms. Protect that peace. It's worth more than a fleeting romance. Reason 2, financial entanglements and unequal contributions. Let me share a story about Tom, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Chicago. After his wife passed, Tom lived frugally in Evanston. His pension covers a modest home and monthly golf games. Then he met Diane, a 54-year-old real estate agent with a taste for Chicago's finer things dinners at Gibson's, weekend trips to Lake Geneva. Tom, smitten, started picking up the tab, thinking it was temporary. Months in, Diane moved into his place, promising to split costs, but her contributions were spotty. A few groceries here, a utility bill t8. Here Tom's savings dwindled faster than he'd planned. When he raised the issue, Diane got defensive, saying he was cheap. The tension wasn't just about money, it was about trust. Tom ended it, but not before his retirement nest egg took a hit. This is the second truth. Financial entanglements can turn romance into resentment. Older men often have fixed incomes, pensions, Social Security, and savings carefully built over decades. Middle-aged women, still in their earning years, may have different spending habits or financial baggage, like debt or child support. When these worlds collide, money becomes a battleground. In my years counseling seniors, I've seen it too often. A man like Tom, generous to a fault, ends up subsidizing a partner's lifestyle. It's not always intentional. But when contributions aren't equal, resentment furs, and at 65 plus, financial stress isn't just a headache. It's a threat to the stability you've worked for. Consider Barbara, 72, from Denver, who watched her friend Paul, 68, date a 49-year-old boutique owner. Lisa. Paul paid for Lisa's car repairs. Thinking it was a loan, Lisa saw it as a gift. Their arguments grew bitter, and Paul's kids, worried about their inheritance, got involved. The relationship collapsed, leaving Paul not just heartbroken but $10,000 poorer. Financial mismatches don't just strain wallets, they strain families' trust and peace of mind. For seniors, a fixed income means less room to recover from these hits. Here's what sage advice suggests. Keep your finances separate, always. No joint accounts, no shared mortgages, not even a shared credit card. Set clear expectations up front. Who pays for what? If you're generous, define limits. A dinner out is one thing, funding a lifestyle is another. Consult a financial advisor to protect your assets, especially if marriage is on the table. Remarriage can affect Social Security or pensions. And if the money talk feels tense, that's a red flag. A partner who respects you respects your security. If you're nodding along, write number 2 in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going. Reason 3. Differing energy levels and lifestyle needs. Let me take you to Austin, Texas, where James O., 72-year-old retired mechanic, thought he'd found a new lease on life with Laura, a 48-year-old fitness instructor. James loved his quiet routine, coffee at his favorite diner on South Congress, tinkering in his garage, maybe a Sunday drive to the hill country. Laura was a whirlwind, teaching spin classes, hiking Zilker Park, and hosting game nights with friends. At first, James tried to keep up, joining her for a 5K run that left him sore for days. Laura, meanwhile, grew restless with James's preference for early bedtimes. Their dates became a tug-of-war. Her energy clashed with his need for calm. When they parted ways, James said, "I wasn't ready for her pace and she couldn't slow down for me." Here's the third truth. Differing energy levels and lifestyle needs can turn romance into exhaustion. After 60, many older men like James have settled into a slower rhythm. Your body's not what it was. Energy fades, rest becomes sacred. Middle-aged women, often in their 40s or 50s, are still in high gear balancing careers, social lives, or active hobbies. This isn't about right or wrong, it's about biology and life stages. A 70-year-old man might cherish a night in with a classic Western. A 50-year-old woman might crave concerts or travel. When these lifestyles don't mesh, you're not building a relationship. You're burning yourself out, trying to bridge the gap. I heard a similar story from a friend's Uncle Frank, 71, in Raleigh, North Carolina. He dated Michelle, a 53-year-old event planner who loved Raleigh's bustling food scene. Frank preferred his garden and weekly chess club. Michelle's invitations to late-night festivals left him drained, and his quiet evenings bored her. The strain wasn't just physical, it was emotional. Frank felt inadequate, like he was failing her. Michelle felt unappreciated. Their split was mutual, but Frank's relief was palpable. He told me, "I need my days to feel like mine again." For seniors, energy is a finite resource. Wasting it on mismatched lifestyles steals the peace you've earned. So here's sage advice. Before you dive into dating, take stock of your energy and lifestyle. Do you thrive on routine, or are you open to a faster pace? Ask your partner the same. If she's planning marathons while you're planning naps, that's a sign. Don't guilt yourself into keeping up. It's not about age, it's about compatibility. Talk early about how you spend your days. If it's not there, let go kindly. Your peace is worth more than forcing a spark. And if solitude calls, answer it. There's power in a life that matches your rhythm. Reason. 4. Emotional baggage and past traumas. Now let's talk about William, a 69-year-old widower from Portland, Oregon. After losing his wife to cancer, William spent years healing, finding solace in his woodworking shop. Then he met Diane, a 55-year-old nurse from Salem at a local grief support group. Their shared loss bonded them. Long talks over coffee turned into dinners, then a relationship. But as months passed, old wounds surfaced. Diane, scared from a controlling ex-husband, grew anxious when William made plans without her. William still grieving. His wife flinched at Diane's need for constant reassurance. Small moments like William mentioning his late wife sparked arguments. Their pain wasn't new, it was baggage they hadn't unpacked. They broke up, both exhausted, with William saying, "I thought love would heal us, but it reopened every scar." This is the fourth truth. Emotional baggage and past traumas can sabotage even the best intentions. Older men, especially after 65, often carry heavy loads. Grief from lost spouses, regrets from long careers or strained family ties. Middle-aged women may bring their own divorces, betrayals, or unresolved parenting struggles. These aren't small hurdles. When you date, you're not just meeting a person, you're meeting their history. At 65 plus, your emotional reserves are thinner. A fight that might have been a blip at 40 can drain you for days now. And when past traumas clash, every disagreement feels like a battle. You've fought before, threatening the peace you've worked to rebuild. I saw this firsthand with a neighbor, Henry, 73, in Boise, Idaho. He dated Karen, a 51-year-old teacher who'd survived an abusive marriage. Henry, a divorcee himself, thought he could handle Karen's trust issues, but her need for constant check-ins triggered his own memories of a controlling ex. Their relationship became a cycle of accusations and apologies. Henry ended it telling me, "I can't fix her pain, and she can't fix mine." The emotional toll wasn't just heartbreak. It was a reminder that unresolved wounds don't vanish with love. For seniors, protecting mental health is as vital as protecting your wallet. Here's sage advice for you. Before dating, take an honest look at your emotional baggage. Are you still healing from loss or betrayal? If so, consider therapy. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. When you meet someone, ask about their past gently. Do they talk openly, or do red flags, like defensiveness, pop up? Set boundaries early. No rushing into deep commitments until you're both ready. If baggage feels too heavy, it's okay to walk away. Your peace matters more than playing savior. And if you're carrying scars, solitude might be your best healer. Has baggage ever tripped you up? Write number 4 in the comments to share your story. Reason 5. Family dynamics and external pressures. Let's head to San Diego, California, where Michael, a 66-year-old retired engineer, thought he'd found love with Karen, a 53-year-old graphic designer. Michael, a widower, was close to his 2 adult kids, Emily and Mark, who lived nearby in La Jolla. Karen, a single mom, had a teenage son still at home. Their romance blossomed over beach walks and jazz nights in Gaslamp Quarter. But trouble brewed when Michael introduced Karen to his kids. Emily worried Karen was after Michael's savings. Mark felt she was replacing their late mom, Karen's son. Meanwhile, resented Michael's presence. Family dinners turned tense, and Michael felt torn between love and loyalty. The pressure was too much. They split, with Michael saying, "I couldn't keep everyone happy, and I lost my own peace." This is the 5th truth. Family dynamics and external pressures can derail relationships when older men date middle-aged women. It's not just about the couple. Adult children like Michael's often see a new partner as a threat to their inheritance, their parents' attention, or their family's legacy. Middle-aged women may have kids or ex-partners who complicate things, demanding time or stirring conflict. Add in societal judgment, friends whispering, "She's too young" or "He's too old," and the relationship faces a gauntlet. For seniors, these pressures aren't just annoyances. They're emotional landmines that can shatter the calm you've built in your later years. I heard a similar tale from a friend's dad, Charles, 70, in Cleveland, Ohio. He dated Lisa, a 49-year-old accountant. Charles's daughter, Sarah, feared Lisa would claim his lakefront home meant for her kids. Future Lisa's ex-husband, still in the picture, caused drama with late-night calls. The constant push-pull from family drained Charles. He told me, "I just wanted love, not a war." The stress affected his sleep, his health, even his joy. For older men, family ties are sacred, and new relationships that strain them often aren't worth the cost. Inheritance disputes, especially, can turn love into a legal mess, threatening your financial peace. Here's what sage advice offers. If you're dating, involve your family early, not for approval but for clarity. Share your intentions. This won't change your inheritance. Talk to your partner about their kids or exes. How will they manage those ties? Be upfront about your legacy, maybe with a will or trust to avoid surprises. If family resistance feels overwhelming, pause. Love shouldn't fracture your closest bonds. And if you're choosing between family and a partner, remember your kids are your lifelong commitment. A new romance might not be. Sometimes staying single keeps the peace intact. Prioritize that reason. 6. Loss of independence and personal space. Let me tell you about David, a 71-year-old retired pharmacist from Tucson, Arizona. After his divorce, David built a life he loved. Morning hikes in Sabino Canyon, evenings with his jazz records in a meticulously organized home office. Then he met Sarah, a 49-year-old yoga instructor from Phoenix. Their chemistry was instant, shared dinners, long talks under the desert stars. But when Sarah started staying over, things shifted. She rearranged his kitchen, filled his quiet evenings with phone calls to friends, and pushed for joint travel plans. David felt his space, his sanctuary, slipping away. He ended it, saying, "I didn't realize how much my independence meant until it was crowded out." This is the sixth truth. Relationships can erode the independence and personal space seniors cherish. After 60, many older men like David have crafted routines that ground them. Your home, your schedule, your quirks. They're not just habits, they're your identity. Middle-aged women often juggling busy lives may bring energy that feels invasive. It's not about malice. Sarah didn't mean to disrupt David's world. She just lived differently. But when you're sharing space, every change, her music, her clutter, her pace, can feel like a loss. For seniors, losing that autonomy isn't just inconvenient. It's a quiet theft of the freedom you've earned after decades of compromise. I saw this with a friend's father, George, 74, in Omaha, Nebraska. He dated Lisa, a 52-year-old sales manager who loved hosting dinner parties. George's quiet nights of reading by the Missouri River were replaced with crowded gatherings. Lisa moved his favorite armchair to open the space, and George felt like a guest in his own home. The tension wasn't loud arguments. It was a slow erosion of his comfort. He broke it off, telling me, "I'd rather be alone than lose my own corner of the world." For older men, personal space is a lifeline. Giving it up for love can leave you feeling unmet, especially when energy to adapt is scarce. Here's sage advice. Protect your independence like it's your legacy. Before dating, ask, how much space do I need and how much am I willing to share? Talk to your partner early. Do they respect your routines or do they expect you to bend? Consider separate homes. Like some couples do to keep your sanctuary intact. If cohabitation feels suffocating, it's okay to say no. Love shouldn't cost you your freedom. And if solitude feels like the safer path, embrace it. There's strength in a life that's wholly yours. Does this ring true? Write number 6 in the comments to let me know you're with me. Reason 7. Societal pressure and misaligned intentions. Now let's meet Richard, a 68-year-old widower from Buffalo, New York. After his wife passed, Richard's friends in Amherst pushed him to date, saying, "You're too young to be alone." At a community center dance, he met Ellen, a 51-year-old librarian with a warm smile. Richard wasn't sure he was ready, but the pressure was relentless. Friends, family, even TV shows, glorifying romance. Ellen seemed kind, but their dates felt forced. She wanted a long-term partner. Richard just wanted company, not commitment. Their intentions never aligned, and the relationship fizzled. Richard told me I dated because I thought I should not, because I wanted to. It felt like I was betraying myself. This is the 7th truth, the one nobody talks about. Societal pressure and misaligned intentions can lead to relationships that drain you. Society tells older men they're incomplete without a partner. Friends nudge find someone. Movies paint love as the ultimate goal, but at 65 plus you've lived enough to know what you need, not what others expect. Middle-aged women may face their own pressures, clocks ticking social circles, shrinking, pushing them toward commitment. When intentions don't match, you're not building love, you're building resentment. For seniors, the emotional cost of chasing someone else's idea of happiness is too high. It steals the peace you fought for. I heard a similar story from a colleague's uncle Frank, 7, in Charleston, South Carolina. Frank dated Maria, a 50-year-old chef, because his golf buddy said he needed a woman. Maria was lovely, but she wanted marriage and a shared home. Frank, content with his beachfront condo and weekly card games, felt trapped by her expectations. The pressure to settle down made him question his own contentment. When he ended it, he said, "I'm not lonely. I was lonely trying to please everyone else." Societal scripts don't account for your truth. And misaligned intentions. Her need for forever, your need for now can turn hope into regret. Here's the heart of sage advice. Ignore the noise. Ask yourself, do I want this relationship or am I chasing someone else's dream? Be clear with your partner. Coffee, chats, not candlelight. For honesty, if she wants marriage and you want companionship, that's a mismatch. Don't settle out of fear. You're not failing by choosing solitude, you're choosing wisdom. At 65, 70, 75, your time is precious. Spend it on what fills your heart, not what fills society's checklist. If love comes, let it fit your terms. If not, peace is your greatest companion. That's the truth nobody tells you. Final thoughts. We've walked through 7 hard truths today. Mismatched expectations that pull you apart. Financial entanglements that threaten your security. Differing energy levels that leave you drained. Emotional baggage that reopens old wounds. Family pressures that fracture your odds. Loss of independence that steals your space. And societal pressures that push you into the wrong match. Each one is real, rooted in lives like John's, Tom's, and Richard's. If even one of these spoke to you, you're not alone. You're not broken for questioning love or choosing solitude. You're wise for seeking peace over chaos, clarity over compromise. Here's what I want you to carry forward. Dating after 65 isn't wrong, but it's not mandatory. You've earned the right to choose love, companionship, or your own company. You date, do it with eyes open. Ask the hard questions. Do our lives align? Can I keep my peace? If the answers don't fit, walk away without guilt. Your golden years are for living, not fixing what doesn't work. And if solitude calls, answer it proudly. There's power in a life that's yours alone, built on your terms, free from pressure or regret. That's the wisdom sage advice offers. Take a moment tonight. Reflect not on what society expects, but on what your heart needs. Is it love, friendship, quiet evenings with a good book? Whatever it is, honor it. Your peace is your legacy, and nobody can take that from you. In our next video, we'll explore 6 ways to build a fulfilling life alone after 65s, because solitude isn't loneliness, it's freedom. Stay with Sage. Advice for that journey. I'll see you there. Thank you for spending this time with Sage. Advice where we share the truths that light your path in the golden years. These 7 reasons are here to empower you, whether you're navigating love or embracing your own company. What spoke to you most today? Share your thoughts in the comments I'm reading, and your wisdom fuels this community. If this video helped you see dating in a new light, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to join Elderly Wisdom Insight for more. Let's keep building a life of peace together. Until next time, stay true, stay strong, and hold fast to your peace.